everybody! I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day and that it has been a really great weekend for you so far. I know it's Sunday, we're getting to the end of Sunday and the beginning of a new week, but hey, we can make the week a great one if we try. And if we don't have a great week, well, you know what? There's always next week. So in one of my videos, you guys asked if I could please show you how to sell things on Marketplace because you wanted to sell your extra gotcha items. And selling on Marketplace is actually a really good idea if you are just selling gotcha items or if you are looking to create in Second Life, but you don't really want to have a physical storefront. Would it be considered a physical storefront if it's virtual? For the sake of this, yes, we'll call it that. But if you don't want to have an actual store, if you don't want to spend the money on renting a store and putting it together and all of that sort of stuff, selling on Marketplace is really the way to go. I make random things in Second Life. Right now, mostly I make poses. And the poses that I make are never specifically to sell. They're usually just for photos, and I just decide to put them on Marketplace because people started asking me, hey, I like that pose, where can I get it? Now, Aldwin and I are pretty different sizes. He is very tall, and I am rather short. So when I make poses for us that are custom, that's because he's really tall and I'm really short, and it is really hard to find poses that actually fit the both of us. And then of course I make poses when I take pictures with the girls and stuff like that. And so I just throw them up on Marketplace. So I thought I would show you guys how I put things on Marketplace and how I get my stuff together to sell on Marketplace. Now, the thing you have to remember about selling on Marketplace is that Second Life is going to take a percentage of the money that you make there. Up until about anything you sell over 10 linden, they're going to take a very small percentage. Now, when I sell my 1 linden items, of course, they don't take anything. That 1 linden is all mine. Woo! Hi, Roland. But anything over 10 linden, yes, they do take a little bit. So when I sell something for 10 linden, they take 1 linden out of it. When I sell something for 75 linden, they take 4 linden out of it. And I know some people are probably like, oh my god, why would they do that? Well, you have to remember, they're giving you space on a server, which of course costs money. And if you had a store in World, you were going to be paying rent on that store. But I think that the little bit of money that they take out of each individual sale, it's really not, it's nothing. It's basically nothing. So you can see over here, I have a pose that is ready to go. It is ready to be boxed up and put on Marketplace, and I already have my box set up and everything. So I'm going to edit this and highlight this and highlight this because the pink box is my brute prim, if you guys remember from my permissions video. And I'm going to take a copy of that from my inventory, and then I'm going to drag it into my vendor. This is how I like for boxes to be when I get things in World. I just want a box with a picture. That's all I need. I don't need fancy packaging at all. I just need a box with a picture, and I need the picture in the box as well. Just so when I am sorting inventory, I can see what it is easily and I don't have to worry about it. So as you can see here, I have got my thank you note card, my vendor photo, and my pose. And I'm just going to check the permissions on that one last time. Modify, copy. Great. So now I am going to take a copy of my vendor box. So once you have your item ready to put on Marketplace, go up to the avatar menu and go into the Marketplace listings. And that is going to bring up this box. And as you can see here, these are all of the things that I sell on Marketplace right now. And then all you have to do is from your inventory, drag the item you're going to use, and it says here, items dragged to the Marketplace listings window are moved from their original locations, not copied. Do you want to continue? Yes. That is why I took a copy of my vendor and didn't take just the vendor. You probably could, and it's probably still going to be in there because it is a copy item, But for me personally, this is the way I like to do it. You may have a totally different way of doing it. Okay, so now you can see that my item is in my marketplace listing, and then I will right click on it and create listing, and that's going to give it a number. So now what we're going to do is actually go into marketplace. Okay, so then we come over to marketplace and we go up to the top bar here and it says my marketplace. Click on the arrow and go into merchant home. And when you do that, this will pop up here, and there are a lot of things that you could do here, but what we're going to do today, and this is basically the only thing that I ever really use, is manage listings. And you can see all of the things that I have up for sale, and it shows you the maturity level. Yes, I do have one adult item because it is a if you've never seen the Blingus, it is a prim penis that I created in 2008. It blings like crazy. It looks terrible, but it's really fun when you wear it, because if you go into mouse look, you can shoot. But because it is a penis, then it is, of course, an adult item. Anyway, let's move on. So on the third page here, you can see that I have the pose that I just put on, and it doesn't have a price, it doesn't say permissions, and this little green arrow says that it is not active yet, which is good because we haven't done anything. So go into actions and go into edit. So when you come into the edit item listing, this is where you're going to put all your information, and this is the part where I think a lot of creators just don't want to do it because it is a little bit tedious. But if you are just putting one item at a time, really, it's not that bad. It's really not. So, okay, so we're not active yet because I don't click the item status until the very last, until I have everything set up. So, okay, this is a general pose because it's not sexy or anything like that. I always say that it's no mesh because the pose boxes are just prims. But my beach ball is mesh, so today I'm going to say partial mesh because I have a beach ball and it has mesh. My permissions are copy and modify. You are going to have to unpack it, and you'll have to throw it on the ground when you unpack it because that's the way I like to do it. But you are going to have to unpack. I don't have any clothing. I don't bother with the brand thing. Okay, so then you put your item title and then you put in your product features. This is a pose. Whoops. Would help if I could type ever. This is a pose, and this is a couples pose. And then I also put in pose balls, and we'll say a prop, because why not? And then you go into the extended description. Now I have it, what I usually say on my poses, on a Google Doc, and that way you can just copy and paste. And this is the stuff that I say, and I always make sure to tell people that my pose isn't professional, because it's not. I make it with any pose, which is a great item, but it's not going to be like somebody who actually does something in Poser or something like that. It's just, it never will be. Beach ball is included. Yay me. And then keywords, and this is how people are probably going to find it. Again, I have my keywords in a Google Doc. Okay, category. So I'll come up here and let's look for pose, and we'll do posing animations. My item price, I'm going to do this one for 75 Linden. Okay, prim count, it is 3, 2 pose balls and a mesh ball, and it has an unlimited quantity. If you were doing gotcha items, you would say 1 or 2 or however many of that specific item that you had, or if you had something, like say you were selling something full permissions and you only wanted to sell 5 copies, that's where you would put it. And then we will upload an image, which I already have. It is the image that is on the vendor box, and it's going to be in my blog too, when I have a chance to blog it. But for marketplace images, they need to be around 700 by 525 pixels, so I did have to resize it down. But if you have an image that is bigger and you don't want to resize it, they will resize it for you. I just prefer to do it myself so that I kind of already know what it's going to look like. And you can put in a whole bunch of images and then select one as your main image for your listing. And I don't have any GIFs, and I don't have a PDF, and related items. This is where I put some of the things that I already have done so that people can see. So since this is a couples pose, let's look at that. And I just did those while you guys were not watching, because who cares, right? I don't have a demo because it's just a pose. I don't do the demos for those. And I never do any listing enhancements because I have a 75 Linden pose. I'm not going to spend more money for a pose that was, you know, fairly cheap for me to make and all that stuff. And if I wanted to share my money with anybody, then I could do that down here and put in their name and how much I would be willing to give them. So like if I wanted to give half of the money to Alvin since he posed with me, I would put his name and the percentage. But I'm not going to do that because it's all mine. And he wasn't even online when I did that pose. I actually did that pose last year. And I left it on the platform until now, basically. Because I did it was the end of the summer and I didn't think anybody would want it then. But anyway. And then the very last thing, go up to item status and click on active, because now this is ready to go. And then it'll take you back to the listings. You can see your name. You have unlimited 75 Linden, copy, modify, and it is now active. And then you can click on it and go over to your actual item page. And that is all you have to do for selling on Marketplace. And if you really want to make sure that everything is right, you can go here to Actions and Test Delivery, and that will send it directly to your inventory, and then you can go into your inventory and res it out and make sure that everything is okay. So that is how you would sell on Marketplace. Really not that hard. If you're just thinking about getting started and creating in Second Life, I highly suggest Marketplace. If you have an established store, I highly suggest Marketplace, because that's almost like a little bit of free publicity for you, because when somebody is shopping, a lot of the time, Marketplace is the first place that they're going to go look. Many stores I have found by going to Marketplace, looking for some item and then saying, ooh, I gotta check out and see what else they have. And especially with lag being what it is in Second Life and all of that, sometimes Marketplace is the way that people prefer to shop, because it means they don't have to go anywhere, they don't have to fight lag or anything like that. So really put your stuff on Marketplace if you are selling items. I sell at least 2 to 3 things daily, and that is with basically no publicity or blogging or anything like that. It's just some little money that ends up in my account, and I like it because you guys know that I shop quite a bit. So for me to be able to sell items that I have created and not really have to do all that much to do it is just pretty amazing to me. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you learned a little something. If there are any questions that I can answer that maybe I didn't go over here, please let me know. I will be happy to answer them for you if I possibly can, and if I can't, I will find somebody who knows the answer. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you hit the little bell by the subscription button, you will be notified every time that I post on this channel. Until next time, I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.